Well, we'd go out on these like mission cycles, and we'd truck out somewhere, and we were always in like an open truck. And since we were there for a full year, we saw summer and winter. Summer wasn't so bad. Winter kind of sucks being on the back of a truck riding around,
Right.
especially up in 10,000 feet in like snow-covered mountains.
Super cold.
Or you'd be driving along a road and you couldn't see all the way up or you couldn't see all the way down. It's like, and or we'd go through all this mud and we'd just sit there, and this whole side of us
Bless you. Bless you.
would be covered with mud and snow and ice. It's like, I'm pretty sure if we'd gotten in a firefight at that time, our weapons wouldn't have worked. But I don't see any of those guys hanging out trying to lay down in the dirt and set up ambushes on us when we're at like 10,000 feet.
Right.
We'd always go down this, it's called the Host Gardez, Two Cities Pass, and it's like a mountain pass that winds through up in like the 8,000, 9,000 foot range. And we'd go down this path to this area that we always had trouble with. Is this warlord. And he was a really ugly, ugly dude. And I got a picture of him and I took it home. It was like a poster of him.
Yeah.
But, his name eludes me, but he had like an eyebrow, and then he had an eyebrow right here, and then he had an eyebrow right here. So he had three eyebrows that was technically one unibrow with like chops in it. And he had a big black beard, and he looked evil. I think he had like the comic book slit over the eye and everything. And we always fought with him because he was like a warlord, and he owned his own area, and he thought he was the shit. I'd hang out with a lot of the militiamen because we worked with the AMF, the Afghan militia forces. Because out there they didn't really have the Afghan National Army at all. And we'd take we'd go out on like a 3-week thing. We'd go out and set up a temporary base, put up barbed wire, put up some like defenses, and then at the main TOC there, like Tactical Operations Center, and all the officers would have little missions go out from there for like a week or so, and then we'd roll out and make a new one. And we'd always like come back to that little area at the end of the night and like eat food and hang out, and we'd always give some money to the the militia, and they'd go out and get like real Afghan food, and they'd come back with like a goat or something.
Awesome.
So we'd go out there and we'd actually eat better than back in the FOB, the forward operating base.
Did you like Afghan food?
Yeah. It's the best turkey I've ever tasted. They call it fielmord, which means like elephant bird. They put the bird in, and they let it soak for like 2 days.
Oh wow.
Or like a day at least. And then they'd cook it, I think, and they'd let it soak some more, and it ended up like just coming right off the bone. It's all like flavorful, and it was just delicious. And then they'd give us like homemade weird French fry type potato stick things, and they'd give us rice, and they'd give us this flat soda that was everywhere called Zamzam soda. Zamzam's basically the name for the water that comes from Mecca, like the pure water. That's what it's really from, but they just call it that, and I think it's like, it might even be an Iranian company that sells it and ships it in. And we'd have that, and it tastes like flat RC Cola.
Nice.
That's good. And then they'd cut up like cucumbers, and they'd make a whole spread, and it was good stuff.
That's awesome.
Or they cook goat. It's funny watching a lot of soldiers that are like, I guess, not used to seeing blood or something, and they take the goat and they just go, and everyone's like, and it's funny. Like, aren't you guys soldiers in Afghanistan? You're being like freaked out, like everyone piles around and stare at like a goat getting prepared.